but I want
Sure.
to understand what legacy means to you, because sometimes you'll hear the word, but sometimes it doesn't register until you understand how it's defined, by somebody that is actually capturing it within their business. So I would love to hear what does legacy really mean to you, as but beyond the legacy brand.
Sure. So a lot of people, they can Google legacy and they'll see a definition of what they see as a definition. But I look at legacy, especially with creating beyond the legacy, from different tiers. So when you look at legacy, it's not just what you leave behind, but it's a lot of the things we do. So when I look at legacy, I think of our actions, our everyday actions. And legacy is the words we speak. Think about anything that comes out of your mouth. Anything that comes out of your mouth is a part of your legacy, whether it's good or bad or somewhere in between, right? The experiences we share.
Yeah.
Like, that's very important. That some of the things that's a repeatable theme throughout our conversation today is experiences, but the experiences you share with others, God forbid I'm not here tomorrow, people are going to say, hey, I remember doing these things with Drew.
Yeah.
Or I remember the time that Drew helped me out with this. Or I remember that, when this person or this person passed away in my family, he was there for me. Like you said, people are not going to forget. It's our impact onto others. Think about that. It's how you impact others. That's legacy, right? So I'm giving you a lot of different tiers, but like, this is not just one definition. It's multifaceted. It's what we create.
Yeah.
Shirt, hoodie, the Beyond the Legacy journal, the dry fit that Greg's wearing, the actual book that I help serve as an editor, ghostwriter for NBA veteran Gerard Mustaf's father that passed away about 12 years ago. That's a part of my legacy. If you open up that book, editor Drew Stevens, editor Beyond the Legacy, like, that's gonna be here. That's gonna be left here on Earth. Like, that book stays here, and that's a part of my legacy. Being a part of that special project, passion project, the legacy project, like, it's the things we create for others that we can share. And lastly, it's our life choices. What you decide to do, good or bad, that will be further imprinted on your legacy. So if you decide to steal or do something illegal, you might have a record. It's part of your legacy. If you help the homeless, if you support and donate your time and do things, part of your legacy. If you decide to just do things for yourself and no one else, stays with you, but it's still part of your legacy. You kept to yourself. But ultimately, it's our life choices. So think about it with purpose. Anytime you're out there, if you say, hey, I'm going to pay for the person's coffee behind me just because.
Yep.
Right. Like, not because I want to take a photo or a video to make it a viral moment. It's just more of a, hey, I want to do this because, I'll give you an example, something I'll never forget. This is sort of tied to life choices or how people make you feel.
Yeah.
There was a store in Morristown that existed. This is like in the 80s and early 90s, Epstein's. And it was right on that block where all the bars are.
Yeah.
So right on South Street. And I remember I was with my mother. I was very young, and there was this candy shop downstairs, and they had cookies and brownies and all these various things. And there was an older gentleman that just said, hey, I'm treating whatever the kid wants. Have him pick whatever he wants. And my mom was like, no, you don't have to do that. He goes, no. He goes, it's my treat. So I was 4 years old at the time. I am in my early 40s. How do I still remember that? Right? Like, there's a lot of things that happen in our lives that happen that we might not remember to this day, like clear as day.
Yep.
But that moment is something I'll never forget. And it's just like, just doing something for others with the intent of not getting anything back in return. I never forgot that. I never forgot how that made me feel. So I just said to myself, there's a lot of community service you and I have probably given to people, whether it's like, I remember I was in college, and this is going to sound very cheesy, but we were in college and we had a mini break, and there was a young lady in my class, and she was short to buy a Snapple, right? And I just said, yeah, I got you. She was so grateful for this $1.50, $1.25 Snapple, right? That came out of a vending machine. But I'm just saying to myself, really? Just that alone? She goes, no, like, I really appreciate it. And then like one day later on in that semester, she like surprised me with, a Snapple in return, right? Just like, not saying I expected that. It's just more of the whole idea of you just never know what your actions and what that person's going through in that day that could just say, hey, he didn't have to do that. Greg didn't have to do this. He didn't have to come and help me move because I'm moving and box up stuff. Like, he actually did it because that's what Greg wanted to do. That's what Drew wanted to do. It's like, I didn't think much of it.
Mm-hmm.
But don't forget about your life choices and your actions, because that's what people will remember you by.
Oh, definitely. Definitely that for sure. And I think that is really the essence of Beyond the Legacy and what that emanates and what it resonates, because, you could share about content, but you don't know until you hear from the person that produces the content. And I think that was very appreciative, and I appreciate you taking out the time to share that, Andrew, because it really gives me more appreciation for being connected to you, hearing a little bit more about your story and your connections.